Hello my loves. I think you need this message and these 3 tips because I know how overwhelming the end of the year can feel. You might be looking back like, did I do enough? How can I just break out of these patterns, these habits that are keeping me stuck? How can I become this dream version of myself next year and know that it's going to be my year when I say it is? And you might be feeling a little bit guilty for the things that you said you wanted to do but didn't do. This is your chance to free yourself from all of that by reflecting, releasing, and doing a reset so that when 2025 comes, you're stepping into the year with clarity, purpose, confidence, all those things that you really been craving for. This year, it broke me, and I see now how it was all for a reason. It was all to get me to be so sick and tired of myself and the constant cycles and funks that I've been through, and I'm now on the other side. The fact that you even found this video, I really feel like we're aligned with each other and we're in that same collective consciousness, and trust me honey, you're gonna get it together. Okay, so let's get into it, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button because my channel is all about bettering ourselves so that we can become the dream version of ourselves that is living that life. Before we can reset and plan for who we want to become, we've got to look back and reflect on where we have been, right? So let's start by looking at what went right this year and the cycles that have been holding us back. This is the time of reflecting. So this step is just so crucial in where it is that you are and how you're going to be getting to where it is that you're going. My love, it is okay to feel like you did not do enough this year. You are still young. You have time. Your dreams and everything that you want for yourself is a vision that you can have. You can still achieve what it is that you wanted to achieve but didn't this year. The timing just wasn't meant for you. What is it going to do for you when you keep looking back and feeling that regret of not having done it yet? It's only going to make you feel worse. So you kind of just have to make peace with that and be like, it didn't happen, but the time is now. You've got to be so trusting in the fact that you just weren't meant to start and do certain things. And it really helps me have peace of mind, knowing that I'm taken care of and being guided and right on time always, no matter what. If all you did this year was survive and get through it, that is still enough because you have very valid reasons for having been in that mental space. What are those small things that you can look back on and say, I'm so proud of that? What are the big things? What are the things that you're labeling small that were actually big? I'm sure you went through a lot of difficult things this year, things that were so hard to just cope with and deal with, and maybe too much to even sit with and face sometimes. It had you running from it. But this year definitely taught you something, even if it was hard. All of those challenges you went through this year, they weren't wasted. It wasn't wasted time and wasted emotions on how you were feeling, honey. Okay, it all has been shaping you into who you are meant to be. You have to be so grateful for the lessons that you gain from the hard times. Have you not learned so much about people this year? Like, I just know you have. Like, you have learned a lot about friendships, about men, about relationships, about yourself, your family maybe even, and that has given you so much like growth. Can we have some credit for her? You deserve that because you have made a lot of like transformations this year. Journaling is so therapeutic. Okay, we want to be this new version of ourselves. Well, we got to do things different. We got to challenge ourselves. We got to get deep. We got to get to the roots. I want you to write down this question. Who was I at the start of this year, and how have I changed in ways I never expected? This is going to force you to look at ways that you actually did have growth and you actually did accomplish a lot in areas where you thought that you were just stagnant and, you know, at your worst. If you haven't already made the choice to stop the cycles that you have been going through and to try to figure out what is it that stops me from showing up how I want to show up for myself? If you really want to transform your life next year and your look, like your body, your diet, your friend group, your career, your passions, like, you can do it, okay? This is literally, it's a fresh start. We about to go into a whole new year. Like, that is so exciting. So reflecting on the past year and how it's been going to step into the next year, having closed out the year officially with this, it looks like, my bad, I had to cut it, but it's gonna look like celebrating your wins, identifying patterns, and unpacking those cycles. Now that we've reflected on the last year and the wins and the challenges, it's time to release what is no longer serving us, because how can we move forward and have what it is that we so deeply desire if we are still so anchored by the past? There is an old version of you that you may or may not be holding on to, and it is time to let them go. This first one was something that has been so difficult for me that I finally overcame, because I released myself from the shackles of this version of myself that I was so desperately trying to be again. I want you to ask yourself, what version of myself am I still holding on to because I'm afraid of who I'll become without her? So this is going to help you identify any attachments that you have to your comfort zones, your limiting beliefs, the stories that you are constantly recycling about yourself and who you are and what you're not like and what you can't be, and help you kind of make the fear of the unknown not so scary, because when you look back and you do this, you're going to be like, well, I can't keep looking back, so I kind of have to step into this unknown. Because when you keep choosing what's familiar, what you're doing is choosing comfort, and we don't want that anymore, because comfort is a false illusion. It doesn't make you feel good. Okay, this is one of my favorite ones, at least the actionable step that I have to go with it, but it is practicing forgiveness for yourself and for others. I'm hearing that you be living with a lot of guilt, and you are very hard on yourself. You put a lot of pressure on yourself, and you don't have a lot of regrets, but you have few regrets. And this is an invitation to free yourself of that, my love. You do not have to put this like stress on yourself anymore. You are allowed to forgive yourself for your mistakes. You know how stupid I felt when I learned about men and how men actually operate, and when I looked back on a past relationship that I had and how stupid I felt because of it. You know how much I didn't know that was so clear and in my face, and the way I could have carried myself and handled things. I had been living in so much regret of that. Even, mistakes in friendships, maybe you didn't handle a situation as best as you could have, or a career related things that you didn't handle as best as you could have, family, whatever, the categories, I be listing, and life's categories, whatever those things are, you deserve to forgive yourself, okay? Because listen, what if I told you this? If you don't forgive yourself for those things, you're only gonna delay your healing, your freedom, and where it is that you want to be. Do you want to keep delaying where it is that you want to be? You know what I love doing every year and at least twice a year? I love writing forgiveness letters. This works especially well for people who you can't get through to, and no matter how well you articulate and express yourself and speak from your heart, they're just not going to react and respond the way that you think that they will, because you know them. They can't take accountability. They can't say that they're sorry. So let's start with doing it in terms of other people. You want to write that letter like you're talking to them. You want to imagine that you're going to be reading this out loud to them, or this is how the conversation is going. If you have to curse them out and tell them how mad they made you, how horrible they were to you, how wrong they were, like, if you let your ego have at it, like, get off everything that you want to get off, like, get that steam off. Then bring yourself back from a 12 to, like, you know, maybe a 3 when you're writing this, to just calmly and maturely express to them what it is that you want to say. And when you are done with that, I would recommend that you read it out loud with all of the passion as if they're right in front of you. But maybe you can imagine how they're responding to it while you're writing it, while you're saying it out loud, or while you're listening back to it. So, like, just depends on, you know, your brain and how it works. And as far as what's going to be the most effective, because you want to trick your brain into making peace with this. Like, you want to trick your brain into thinking that this was something that happened, because now it can just have peace with it. It doesn't, you feel like you really told them all of these things and feel like you got the reaction that you wanted from them. It is very healing to feel like the person who you have just been thinking about so much and need to forgive deep down, that is how the conversation went. And if you would rather video diary this because you're just like, there is not enough pages in the journal to get what I want to say about these people, then I recommend video diarying. If you don't want to do that, you can voice memo in the voice memo app. This way you can even listen back to it and imagine their response. You know, get very creative. This is going to help you a lot. You know, sometimes things just end and there's nothing to really talk about. You know, you just have to have discernment as to which relationships that are, because you can't just be going around just ghosting people. Make sure that while you're reflecting on the past in these relationships, you're taking some form of accountability too. It doesn't matter how late you think it's been that you maybe had a falling out or a disagreement with somebody and y'all just haven't talked about it, made peace with it. Like, you don't think that you just, like, too much time has passed and it's too late to do that. Maybe there's somebody that you need to, you know, send a message to before the year ends as a means of just kind of mending something that happened in the past, so that you can just move on and not have that, like, you know, lingering. Okay, the next one is to declutter emotionally and physically. They always say spring cleaning, but I believe in seasonal cleaning, like deep cleaning, decluttering things. That's decluttering your space, your closet, drawers, and cabinets, but also your phone. Go through those pictures. Okay, you got a disgustingly packed camera roll. Is your camera roll like just thousands and thousands of pictures and you don't have it organized? Ooh, before I forget, swipe wipe. Baby, that app will save you so much time. Like, you could just literally swipe left or right, and like one way is delete, one way is keep. So you could just literally go through your camera roll way faster than like actually manually doing it yourself. And it deletes from the app. Like, I don't know how it works, but it works, and I've done it. This is not a paid partnership that I'm doing with them. This is like me genuinely recommending this app. Anyways, listen, baby, honey, why are we holding on to receipts? And you know what, this one's kind of for me too. Like, I feel like Spirit is just kind of sharing this message with me. You don't have to anticipate confrontation. You don't have to anticipate conflict and drama. Okay, so you don't have to hold on to certain receipts. And of course, like, if it's some legal thing and if it's some like serious issue, okay, you know, I know you probably like, this issue is serious to me regardless, but like, you don't have to hold on to certain text messages and screenshots because you feel that something bad is going to happen in the future to where you're going to need to use that. Delete text messages just in general. You know, all them random numbers. You know how many times Kamala like texted me this here? Yes, the vice president. If there is a certain outfit in your closet that is harboring an energy, and when you look at it, it reminds you of somebody that's kind of triggering for you, and it makes you think of the past and gets you feeling a certain way, get rid of it. Okay, you don't need to keep your ex's hoodie, baby. Sell stuff that you feel like you need to sell. That thing you've been waiting to sell that's in your house, you're just keeping it because you plan on selling it, get rid of it. And you say you're gonna wear it again, you haven't worn these clothes in forever. get rid of it. I'm a minimalist at heart. I'm a minimalist inside, outside, in my phone, in my house. Like, that's just how I am. Declutter social media. Listen, the audio just changed. My camera just died. I hope you're still rocking with me while I film the rest of this on my iPhone. So with social media, if there are people that you need to remove, unfollow, block, like, do that, okay? A lot of people are way too bothered about unfollowing and removing people, okay? There's not enough energy that you have to be wasting on stuff like that when you're trying to level up, become who it is that you want to be, which is unbothered and making decisions that are best for you. You have to make decisions that are what you want to do. Stop living your life caring about what people think, because even if you follow them and if you still got them on social media, they're still gonna think whatever they want about you, okay? You don't owe anybody shit. You don't owe anybody anything. So for me, like, I know how I feel about people in real life. I know what I think about people, how much I love them, admire them still. But if I need to open social media and just see things that are going to be at the best, like, I'm gonna be the best for my mental space, then that's what I'm going to do. It does not mean that I have beef with somebody. If I unfollow 500 people, does that mean I have beef with 500 people? Be so for real, okay, y'all? I'm gonna make a whole nother video on that. Everything means something differently to each of us, and I think that's one of those things that people want to do, but they don't have the balls to do because they just care too much about what people think that means for their relationship. Moving on, I want you to look at letting go as upgrading, like you're upgrading your life. Let go of what no longer serves you. Get excited about what you're becoming, who is going to come into your life. You're not losing anything by letting go, because what you're losing is what no longer serves you anymore. And this is a time to reflect on the relationships that you have in your life, and you know, the way that certain things in your life make you feel. You know, maybe it's like a certain job, a certain career field, a certain position, family, especially around the time of the holidays. Like, maybe there's certain things and people that are just draining you and taking away from you. This battery, like, I literally have my iPad here with all my notes. This battery can only go up to 100%. You have such limited, like, energy to use every single day. Align yourself with what fits your future, not with what fits your past. You know, there are some friendships from the past that I miss so dearly. They meant a lot to me. We have some of the best memories together, but those people don't fit my future. Those people fit my past, and I have to ask myself this constantly. I know sometimes we like to, you know, reconnect and, you know, start, you know, over with certain relationships again, but I'm so focused on aligning myself with people that are living a life that is close to the life that I envision for myself, because I take my life very seriously. That's not shallow. That's not thinking that you're better than somebody. That is just about being intentional. This is really for people who I'm keeping the dearest to me, because the 5 people that are closest to you are going to reflect on your life, where you are and where it is that you're going. So if you're surrounding yourself with people that are not doing the things that you want to be doing with your life, then you're gonna find that you're going to adopt their habits naturally. This chapter has been about releasing. So it's about forgiveness and letting go of, you know, emotional and physical clutter, what's no longer serving you, because it's in releasing and letting go of the weight that holds us down that we're able to gain that momentum and just have that path cleared to show us where it is that we want to be and are going. So it's letting go that creates space for what's new and what it is that we want. And this is where that reset comes in. So now that we've released, what it is we need to let go of, it's now time to create our vision and hit that reset button so we can step into 2025 like that version of ourselves that we want to be and on track to really syncing with her. When you hit that reset button, it is time to reconnect with your why. Why is it so important to be this you that you want to be and let go of the you that you have been? So before you reset, ask yourself this: who is the woman I'm becoming, and why does she matter? What would my life look like if I fully commit to her? So this is about stepping into your purpose and breaking free from everything that has held you back, okay? Because it is time to stop delaying her. What are the consequences of not stepping into my full potential? And can I live like this for another year? Really sit with that. Think about how many things that you are going to miss out on if you don't become her. In this video, up here about changing your life in 30 days that I made, we talked a lot about how you have to make those consequences so scary for yourself. How are you constantly in these cycles and constantly trying to change, but it doesn't stick? So you have to make those consequences real. You that you are right now, okay? That's where you are. Then there's the you that you want to become. All right, we always talk about this version, the version of us that we want to become, but we don't acknowledge this one in the middle. Sorry for these little circles. This version of you in the middle is the one that is making all of the daily habits, the daily efforts, doing the inner work, showing up for herself so that she can take this you and bridge the gap to being her, so you could sync up with her. So don't think that you who has all these things is so far ahead and it sounds so far-fetched for 2025, because you really can be the you who is just showing up and trying to get closer to her, because that version of you is gonna feel just as amazing. This next one is about visualizing the next chapter with emotion. Okay, I say this because it is with emotion that we get into that manifestation frequency of attracting things into our life. Close your eyes and picture what she looks like. What is her hair like? What does her makeup look like? How does she dress? I think the best way to go about this is to start from the morning to night in a journal prompt, scripting. Start writing about how her day begins. Evoke emotion. Imagine waking up. She wakes up feeling at ease. She wakes up to all these notifications from her small business. Forget small business, from her big girl business. She just looks in the mirror when she gets up and she is in awe of her body. She is snatched. What does her room look like? What are the first things that she does? And maybe she's gonna meet up with her best girlfriends that she had been manifesting and been wanting to have for so long. Maybe there's a hobby that she goes to. She feels so good about who she is. She's confident. Really go through the day and writing it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I really be going in with the details. It's always and. Oh my god, I don't be smiling. I be taking these videos so seriously, I forget to smile, but hi. Next, let's talk about a journaling prompt. All right, what are 3 non-negotiables she has, and how has her perception of them changed? I love to make sure that the habits that I have all feed into my emotional, spiritual, physical, mental, and financial self. And so that looks like working out, moving my body every day. Very, very important. My dream self, of course she does that. It's her lifestyle. It's literally just her lifestyle. I no longer dread the gym. I look forward to how I'm going to feel after the gym. I show up even when it's hard, even when I'm tired, or when the workout is just really hard and I'm just like, bro, I can't do this. I'm thinking about that body I'm gonna have. And my mental, emotional self and spiritual self, I have my morning and evening rituals and the things that I do. Okay, and my last tip before we wrap this bow up is set quarterly goals. So this is such a gem. So breaking like 1 to 3 things down over the course of 3 months helps you maximize your efforts for that goal and bring it to fruition. So your goals are less overwhelming, way more achievable, and broken into steps as to how you're going to accomplish that month by month by month. This reset is about visualizing your dream self, setting quarterly goals for how you're going to accomplish those things that she has already accomplished. Now that we've reflected on where we've been, released on what's been holding us back, and reset ourselves to make that vision so clear as to who we're becoming, it is time to take action, because these steps, this video means nothing if you don't put in the little work to just make it real. Make it happen. When you put that pen to paper and you make time to sit with yourself and reflect and release and reset, you're going to see those changes and you're going to stop delaying it and actually make it happen sooner, because you're showing up for yourself in a way that is not choosing your comfort zone anymore. You following me? You picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, I just think that those 3 steps are really all you need to focus on to wrap up this year, to really just put it in a package, make peace with it, move on from it, and plan ahead. It is through this that you're going to really pave the way for yourself. Don't be afraid of stepping into this new light and this newness, because I'm telling you, it's not like the past. It's not like these old times. You're doing this with clarity, intention. You are in a completely different space. You have gained so much lessons and have grown so much, transformed so much, that you're done with the cycles. Okay, you're done with the cycles, and you've made such a powerful decision to be like, no more. I'm getting after what it is that I deserve out of life, because you can have it all. You're doing this for you because you're worthy of becoming her, okay? The version of you that you have been wanting to be. You are deserving of it, and it's time that you decide, I'm going to believe that. Fuck not believing that, because what has that done for you so far? It's had you playing small, had you in cycles, lost, stuck, unsure, scared that you can't really fully commit and stay committed. That's not you no more, babe. Like, you've broken free from that, and I'm so proud of you. And you're going to build that trust with yourself the more you put in the work to do these things, write these things down and show up for yourself. I know I say it a lot, show up for yourself, but it is so essential as somebody who hadn't been showing up for herself. You're gonna see why 2024 broke you, and you're gonna see how 2025 wasn't just some fairy tale vision that you had for yourself. It actually happened and came true. Those desires and everything you want for yourself happens. Like, congratulations. Like, I'm already congratulating you. I have 2 more bonus questions that I want you to ask yourself if you really want to go that extra mile. And it is, what truths about myself have I been avoiding, and how have they silently shaped my decisions this year? And the second one is, if I weren't afraid of failure, rejection, or judgment, what would I have done differently this year, and what's stopping me from starting now? I'm not letting you self-sabotage no more, all right? If you're ready to go deeper and unlock self-discipline and consistency, make sure you watch this video. You can just click it. My name is Jessi Melani. You may or may not recognize me, but I usually look like this. Make sure you hit that like button to lock in everything that you want for yourself. Leave a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so that you can get to know me more and just join me on this journey of literally everything that we've talked about. So drop a comment down below on one thing you're reflecting on, one thing you're releasing, and one thing you are doing to reset yourself, all going from 2024 into 2025, because I can't wait to hear from you. If this video resonated, please let me know down below in the comments. Follow me on socials. I'm on Instagram at Jessi Melani and on TikTok at Jessi Melani _. 2024 was tough, but you now have the power to create a version of you that is so unrecognizable to who you have been and how you have been. You need to stop identifying as whatever you think that you are. You are really just consciousness, and you can be whatever it is that you want to be. There is a stronger, more confident you that is living her dream, all right? And I know it. I just need you to know it too.